Čau visiem, Tieva
un Emīls.
Un jūs skaties
Mēs ar brāli
kolosāli.
Šonedēļ, draugi, būs otrā daļa, kā mēs paviesojamies Kaunijā pie lielākās spēļu kompānijas Baltijā – Tutotuns.
Bet tas vēl nav viss. Pirms mēs paviesosimies Kaunijā, atkal paviesosimies Kaunijā, mums jauniešiem ir vēl kāds neliels pārsteigums.
Meitenes, man ir ļoti priecīgas ziņas jums. Es šorīt runāju ar Džonsonu ģimeni.
Viņi mūs adoptēs.
Skatās, ka viņi to ļoti gribētu, jā.
Kas ir mamma? Viņa zina?
Tas, ka viņas māte ir cietumā, nenozīmē, ka viņai nekas nav jādara.
Anastasija!
Hello, Mommy.
Hello, sweetie. We'll come to Latvia. We'll spend 3 weeks with you there, and then we'll all come back here.
Tu gribēji man aizsūtīt uz Ameriku un nepateici, ka mamma mūs ir meklējusi. Es taču to nekad nepiedošu, nekad!
Ko tu te dari?
Mamma grib atgūt tiesības mums. Viņai ir darbs, dzīvoklis. Viņa ir gatava sākt jaunu dzīvi.
Kroči, ja kāds nāk, ja? Tad tev jāpazūd pa logu. Saprat?
Tur bija mamma un kaut kādi cilvēki. Viens onkulis man dedzināja kāju. Es tikai atceros, ka es kliedzu.
Tas nebija nekāds onkulis, tas bija tavs tēvs.
Pazūd! Aha!
Tava mamma, viņa vienkārši sajauc tavu galvu un pazūd. Es esmu tavā pusē. Meitene.
Tu zini, ka taisies nebraukt uz Ameriku?
Mēs mammai nekad neesam interesējušas.
Amerikāņi tu pagāti. Tu viņas noslēdz galvenais, jā? Tāpēc pilns programmas.
Klausies. Negribu nopelnīt?
Kas jādara?
Honest, no kurienes tu šito izrunā? Ejam svinēt!
No. Oh, you know what? Okay, honey, we don't do that here, okay?
Man ir 13 gadi, un tie menti neko nevar izdarīt.
Hello, take me to America!
Šonedēļ uz kino ekrāniem ir iznākusi ārā jauna filma Māsas, un man ir tas gods aprunāties ar filmas galvenās varones atveidotāju Emmu vai zināmu Anastasiju. Sveika, Emma!
Sveiki!
Tu filmā attēlo Anastasiju. Vai tev ir bijusi kāda cita, kino pieredze?
Nē, patiesībā Māsas bija mans pirmais kino, vispār tāda ieskatīšanās kino pasaulē, un pirmā saskaršanās arī ar aktieru mākslu.
Oh, cool. Kā tu vispār izdomāji pieteikties un kur dzirdēji par šo?
Es atceros, ka es braucu mājās no muzikas skolas, un man mamma zvanīja. Viņa bija izlasījusi Delfos, ka meklē meitenes filmai. Un likās, ka tas apraksts par to Anastasijas lomu ļoti bija līdzīgs kā man, pēc manām īpašībām, personības. Tāpēc izdomāju pieteikties.
Es dzirdēju, ka tavs suns ietekmēja ļoti lielu tavu to lomas izvēli. Kā jums kopā vispār gāja un pastāst par šo sunu iepazīstini mani?
Jā, tā ir Klēra. Klēra saka čau. Viņa ir pa pusē labradors, taksis un vēl kaut kādi 10 suņi. Un viņa ir ļoti draudzīga, ļoti hiperaktīva un ļoti gudra.
Oh, wow.
Jā, un viņai filmā gāja ļoti labi. Viņai sanāca viss, ko vajadzēja, viņa neko jaunu nemācīja, viņa vienkārši dabiski skrēja man līdzi, tāpēc viņiem tas patika.
Kā tev vispār bija iejusies Anastasijas tēlā?
Iesties Anastasijas tēlā man likās diezgan vienkārši, tāpēc, ka es biju izlasījis scenāriju vairākas reizes, un es ļoti sapratu tās viņas emocijas un tam, ka viņa gāja cauri. Tāpēc, tā iešanās tēlā nebija pārāk sarežģīta.
Cik ilgi jūs vispār šo visu filmējāt, un kā tas tev bija apvienot ar savām skolas mācībām?
Mēs filmējām kopumā 2, varbūt pat 3 mēnešus. Apvienot bija diezgan sarežģīti, tāpēc, ka bija skola un es vēl beidzu muzikas skolu tajā gadā. Bet tā kā bija tālmācība tieši, ja mēs filmējām 21. gada pavasarī, tad bija vieglāk, jo tālmācība Zoomi, visi mājas darbi un tad filmēšana, tā kā jā, tas nebija tik neiespējami.
Šīs filmas tēma pats par sevi ir diezgan smaga un saprotama. Vai tev šī tēma par bērnamiem bija pilnībā jauna vai bija kaut kur saskarsme?
Man vecāki vienmēr stāstījuši par to, cik ļoti man jānovērtē tas, ka man ir tik laba ģimene, un tā varētu būt arī vienīgā saskarsme. Bet kopumā, jā, es pārzināju to, cik tas ir smagi un grūti, bet tā iedziļināti, jā, tā bija man pirmā saskarsme.
Vai tev izdevās filmēšanas laikā saprast, kāpēc Anastasija gribēja palikt Latvijā un nedoties Amerikā?
Jā, man izdevās to saprast, bet man liekas ātrāk nekā pirms filmēšanas, kad izlasīju scenārijas sapratu. Viņa ir diezgan ļoti stipra rakstura, un man liekas, viņa vienkārši gribēja palikt pie saviem principiem, pie tās savas īstās ģimenes un pie tās savas ierastās telpas. Man liekas, viņa daļai negribēja braukt, jo viņai nepatīk tie cilvēki, bet tā otra puse varbūt bija, ka viņa vienkārši negribēja iziet ārā no tā ierastā. Man liekas, viņa vienkārši bija savā komforta zonā, un tas viņai labāk patika.
Ja būtu otrā daļa šī filmai, ko tu gribētu tajā redzēt? Vai tavuprāt viņa tomēr nolēma doties uz Ameriku, vai viņa joprojām paliek Latvijā?
Vispār diezgan smieklīgi. Es ar režisoru tieši pirms 2 mēnešiem par to runāju. Bet es pat nezinu, ja godīgi, ko es gribētu redzēt. Es par to nebiju tā domājis. Gan jau, ka es domāju, ka Anastasija paliek Latvijā. Viņai ir labs raksturs, domāju, viņa nebraukt uz Ameriku, bet varbūt tas, ko es gribētu redzēt, kā viņa satiekas to māsu un cik patiesībā mainīgi ir tā dzīve, ka tev ir ģimene un ka tev nav ģimenes. To redzēt, to salīdzinājumu.
Man vienmēr interesēs jauniešu filmās, bieži vien jaunieši smēķē. Es teicu, ka tu filmā smēķēji, bet tev nav 18 gadi. Kā šis strādā?
Filmās mums bija sagatavotas cigaretes, kurās nebija nikotīns. Tās herbālās cigaretes, kurās sabiedrīja iekšā kaut kādu degošu tēju. Tur vienkārši tikai doma efekts. Bet visi, kuri smēķēja un kuri pamēģināja tās herbālās cigaretes, viņi teica, ka viņas ir pretīgākas nekā parastās. Un galvas sāpes dienas beigās bija diezgan lielas, bet vismaz tas nebija kaitīgi manai veselībai.
Tas galvenais. Un es teicu, ka tu arī nogriež čolku. Tā puse no filmas bija čolku. Tur arī māsai nogriež čolku. Vai tā bija parūka vai nē?
Jā, tās abas bija parūkas, tāpēc, ka es nogriezu čolku pusfilmā. Un tas būtu pārāk sarežģīti, jo mēs vienu dienu filmējam pirmo pusi, un tad pēc tam otro pusi, tad tā čolka būtu kaut kā tur jālīmē ciet, tāpēc mēs izmantojam parūku.
Skaidrs. Un galvenais, vai tu turpināsi savējo aktrises karjeru, jo, manuprāt, tev sanāk diezgan labi.
Paldies. Es nezinu, es ļoti labprāt, bet man liekas, ka tas pagaidām nav atkarīgs no manis. Jo, tas ir, ja man piedāvās, es, protams, piekritīšu, man liekas ļoti interesanti, un es labprāt attīstītu šo spēju. Bet tā kā jā, pagaidām es turpināšu karjeru. Ko es darīšu pēc tam? Es nezinu.
Super, paldies.
Hello.
Hello.
So you're the creator of most of the Tuto tunes.
Yes.
Can you please tell me more about them?
Well, it all started about 8 years ago, actually. I started working here like 8.5 years ago. And I finished Arts Academy, and this is actually my first and only job so far. So I kind of grew with the company, and the company grew with me. So the first characters were very different from what you see now. And it sort of developed over time because we kept seeing what our audiences actually like to see, what characters they prefer. And so it evolved into something like that. So most of our characters are super cute, and the more cute we can make them, the better. So they all have bright colors, big eyes, big heads, cute features. And so, yeah.
I see, most of them are, very... they have a lot of detail.
Yeah.
They kind of, I don't know how to say this, but, they're fluffy somehow.
Yeah, we tried to focus on detail because I think we sort of noticed that our players like that. They like to see the characters almost as if they are real, like they're real toys or real live creatures. So we try to make them look as 3D as possible and also focus on the realistic appearance of the hair, the eyes, and certain details like that.
So you do animations and drawings, right?
No, actually, I only draw. I help from the very beginning of the project. We work very closely with the whole team, and the artist's job is to create all kinds of sketches, all kinds of concept art to help develop the idea. And once we have a clear idea and a clear plan of what to do, the artist, like me, we draw everything that needs to be in the game, and then we give it to the animator, and he gives life to all the creatures and all the objects.
So you draw it like on the paper, or you like make it 3D like in Blender?
We have some people who are working in 3D, but me personally, I've tried 3D, but I prefer 2D. So I start everything in Photoshop. So I do all the sketching in Photoshop, and I do all the final renders in Photoshop.
So this pen
Yes.
and this table, can you show me something?
I can show you, for example, this character from Fruitsies, how it started. So this is what the sketch looks like. And this is not the first sketch, but it's a more detailed sketch. And then we do a color sketch to see if the colors work right. And these are the final renders. So the final render has to be super detailed and see how many layers it has. It's not just one image, because you need every single different part to be separate for it to be animated. For example, if you want to move the eyes, they have to be separate from everything else so that the animator can then just take it and animate it. So we have to think of all the possibilities, everything that the character might have to do in the game. We have to consider that while drawing.
I saw while walking down the stairs, you guys have so many games. How long does it actually take from the idea to actually launch the game?
Yeah, it's actually a very interesting question because we have like in the different period of Tutatoon's company, it took different time to make a game. So like when we started, when Tutatoon started and when we had a builder, so we were making game like every 7 weeks. So actually it was like one person, because the builder was like, it was so easy to make games, but the games was pretty simple. It was more like a storybooks than the game. So it was one person drawing the game, thinking how is this game going to look, like putting everything in the builder and making it in 7 weeks. So
in 7 weeks?
In 7 weeks, and at that time we had like 200 games in the store.
Like, so, how many games do you guys have in total?
Now we like support and have probably 40 or 50 games. So it's still a huge number, but we like removed all the ones which wasn't so good or so successful. Like we always tried to do the best one, but some of them like didn't live the time. Let's say.
Which
like
is the most popular game?
So now the most popular game is Fluffzis. And Fluffzis, for example, took us to make the first version of the game. We were pretty fast for this time now also. It took us around 4 months to make first version of the game. And now the team is constantly working and it's, I guess, 2 years already. The team is constantly working and keeping the game in good shape and trying to add new content for the players, because the game has like really huge player base, the biggest one in Tutatoons. Yeah, but usually now, because we don't use Tutatoon's builder because technology got old, so we had to switch to different technology and we switched to Unity. So now we are using Unity, but it opened us to create even better and even more interesting games, gave us more capabilities, this engine Unity. And yeah, now it's like 8 months or even more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is there a specific person that maybe comes up with like all the game ideas, or is it just like everyone kind of coming in with some new things?
So usually it's, when we have like to make new game, like let's say team is free, usually they brainstorm the ideas, they create the ideas. They think they know our audience, they know what what our audience might like to see in the future, and they like create these ideas and then present to like trust team. We have this trust team of the most experienced Tutatoons members from like all different departments, and they like then talk about this idea, and decide how to move with this further. And if everything is agreed, so then the team come back to the like working place and start working on the game. Usually this process of idea takes about a month or two, of like finding the right idea, like writing all the game loops, creating game design document, and drawing all the sketches and understanding how it looks. But usually it comes from the team. So we want actually for the people to be the owners of the product and feel that they are making something great by themselves. So we don't like take it. Sometimes there are some hard decisions when the game is not, we still have like certain metrics we need to reach that the game would be continued for developing. So we have various stages like soft launch stage where we check if the game is reaching certain metrics, if enough players are playing for enough time this game. If it's not, so sometimes we have to take hard decision to kill the game. We call it killing. It's very hard. It's super hard to do that because still the team is like in the process of doing, but sometimes it happens. It's like very rare, but it happens. Yeah.
Can the employees decide what game do they want to work on, or is it just like already set that this person works for this game and this person works for another game?
So usually our teams form pretty naturally. So now when we have like initial forming was happening naturally, but now when we have teams like set, so usually we try to not to mix people between teams, because all the people in the teams, they know each other, they know what they are capable of, and they like trust each other. So we try not to separate the teams, but sometimes it happens that the project is finished and we need somehow to divide different people to different teams. So usually we talk with which teams need something, and we like make the usual decisions of like dividing people between teams. But yeah, usually so it somehow feels pretty natural. It's not forced. Like who wants, if you don't feel like working with other person, you can like change the team. It's possible. It's maybe not at this moment, but maybe months after or something. So yeah. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
So what are you making right now?
Right now I'm making animations for new series of our Floof game. So it's about pets in the jungle, and I'm making all the pets animations, all objects animations, interaction animations. So right now I'm making objects like these, which pets interact with. So this is going to be a kicker, which horse pet will kick. So I'm using this software which allows me to use images which our artist Brigitta draws, and I add bones to them. So as you can see, every image is a separate image, and I manipulate them through keyframes, and every frame is reviewed and made by hand with these keyframes. And you can even fix in the progress every animation if someone says that maybe we should make it faster, make it slower. And yeah, so this is the process of animation, and the animation itself is really like traditional animation. The thing is, you don't need to draw. So I can't draw as good as our artist, but I still have to know like 12 principles of animation, squash and stretch, follow through. So it's a lot of work, but it's possible to learn this skill. I learned animation in 3 to 4 years, so I would say it's really possible to learn animation without even drawing.
So basically what you're saying, like if I wanted to try to do this myself, I wouldn't be able to, right?
You would be able to. It just takes practice to perfect the movements and the arcs of as you can see, every leg. You can move, and you would be able to move the bones. You would be able to make walk cycle, but it really takes practice to master the feeling of the whole animation, to make it feel like it isn't just images, to make it feel like it's hand drawn, to make it to create an illusion of magic, of movement, and of emotion. So as you can see, I can make emotions, and you have to catch the feeling of magic. Yeah.
Wow, that looks really complicated.
These are new rigs. Rig is the bone structure of the animal. So yeah, these are kind of new. So I would say it's sometimes even for me complicated, but yeah, it's complicated.
Runājot par kauņu vai tutotuns, man personīgi visinteresantākā atmiņa vai, es nezinu, kas man likās savādākais, ir tas, kā ļoti strauji attīstās mūsdienu tehnoloģija, bet kas man likās nereāli iespaidīgi, ir, ka viņi katru no šiem spēles tēliem zīmēja atsevišķi. Es personīgi, man nekad nav bijušas ne jausmas, kā tiešām rodās spēles, bet man likās, ka ir gan jau kāda programma, kas šo visu uzzīmē, vai nevis uzzīmē, bet animē. Nopietni viņi katru zīmē pa savam. Wow!
Man, piemēram, ļoti patika. Tā kā, tas diemžēl neiekļuva raidījumā, bet mēs aizdevāmies uz audio daļu, un man pat sanāca ierunāt viena tēla audio.
Viņi būs spēlē?
Iespējams, varbūt, jā. Es ceru. Bet, to nezinu, man liekas, ka nevarētu būt. Nezinu.
Interesanti.
Es jau nācu kāds audio, jā.
Tajā laikā, kamēr Emīls rakstīs audio, es nebiju blakām, es tikmēr zīmēju. Un tas bija forši, man tas bildes. Paldies, ka skatījāties šo raidījumu. Paldies, ka jūs mums skatāties, un paldies, ka jūs mums tādi esat. Forši jums šo svētdienas vakaru. Ko mēs darīsim?
Iesim uz filmu.
Labi. Ejam dabūt biļetes, kamēr vēl tās ir.